Now more of the Midcoast Morning Buzz with Richard and Jim. Radio 9, WCME.
James, I'm so pleased. Our guest is Deb King, Executive Director of the Brunswick Downtown Association. They are kicking off Eat Brunswick Week. The second annual version starts today, runs through Sunday. And it is featuring any number of culinary venues here in Brunswick and sampling their wares for special prices. They're all going to kick in a gift certificate for a drawing at the end of the week. Deb, thank you so much. And a wise move that you didn't bring breakfast in this morning, because Jim and I would...
It'd be gone. Yeah, it'd be gone by now.
It would be gone, and you'd just be sitting there rambling on and on while we eat. So thank you so much for coming in.
Oh, no, I feel like I've shirked my duty.
Oh, heavens, no. We're always looking for freebies, so don't mind us.
I want to say before we go any further, we're really overdue in having Deb King on the show. We've been talking about this off and on for a couple months. Deb King is a major player in the affairs of Brunswick, and particularly in its downtown area. As the Executive Director of the Brunswick Downtown Association, thanks for, I was going to say rising early, but this is fairly typical for you.
This is very typical for me. Well, thank you so much for having me. It's a pleasure to be here this morning.
Before we get into the Eat Brunswick Week, tell us about the association. What is it that you folks do, and why should businesses get involved with you folks?
Well, the Brunswick Downtown Association has been in some shape, form, or another for over 50 years. Mm-hmm. It's only within the last year that we've become a Main Street community. And we're very, very proud of that designation. We're just closing in on 300 members right now. In March, we celebrated Boost Brunswick, a major membership drive. We focus on downtown. We want to make it vibrant, safe, vital, exciting, not only for our residents, but for our many visitors throughout the year. We want to make sure that the heart of our community, which is the downtown, is striving towards being as successful and vital as possible.
And we certainly have a stake in that being downtown. Absolutely. Here in Fort Andros, from the place from which we are speaking. And how would you say we are doing? It looks pretty vibrant to me. In fact, I will say that the vibrancy of the downtown area was a key factor in my decision to do this project and this station on which we're talking right now.
We are very, very fortunate as a community. The resource team from the Maine Development Foundation was in town last week doing an assessment on downtown Brunswick. The quote that resonates with me from one of the experts was, Brunswick came to the Maine Downtown Foundation not out of desperation, but out of inspiration. We are so fortunate to have very few ground level storefronts empty. In fact, there are none. We are extremely fortunate. We do need to do some work on our second floor vacancies, but that's just a challenge that we're going to rise to.
No, that's very interesting to me. No downtown storefront vacancies right now.
Right now.
Because I know I've been tracking that for 3 or 4 years now, and I know that there have been times when we've been very close to that, when there was only 1 or 2, but you're saying we're down to 0.
Right now, we're at 0.
That is very encouraging. And I think the last one, correct me if I'm wrong, because you would know better than I, but this new store, I think they call it the Mix over here, filled up a vacant storefront.
Yes, and Trendy Closet in Center Place just opened. I think that is even more recent. And we're looking forward to... Oh, and I'm going to butcher this. Trattoria Athena, their second spot is opening up on Main Street as well.
That's right.
Very exciting.
Right. That's right. And that's interesting, too, that Center Place has no vacancies now.
I think they may have a couple.
Okay.
Yeah, they may have a couple.
But that's not actually a storefront, because that's a
more
center.
Like a mall.
Yeah,
yes.
More like an inside mall. Yeah.
All right, you two. I'm hungry. Now tell me about Eat Brunswick Week. Tell us about Eat Brunswick Week. Starts today, runs through Sunday, featuring 14, 15 or more venues.
Yes, about 15. And what's very cool is because it's 2013, many of the participating restaurants are setting their prices at $5.13, $10.13, $20.13, depending upon their offering. So, and we wanted to make it available and have it work with the restaurants that are maybe more coffee shop type as opposed to high-end eating, but we wanted to make sure that people visiting downtown had a good array of choices.
I got to say, there are two things that always strike me about dining in Brunswick. One, it's really reasonably priced on the whole when you consider the quality. And also, well, there's also a lot of originality, too. Everybody seems... I mean, you have a lot of restaurants that offer the typical fare, and they offer you the dishes that you'd expect to find, but they also have something original, something creative that you're not gonna find anywhere else. And I've also found that even some of the places that tend to be pricier also tend to have lower priced options, so that, if you just want to go in and enjoy the atmosphere, you can do it without having to file for bankruptcy after your meal.
But higher quality food, too.
Yes,
so there is that.
True.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We have 33 restaurants in our downtown area, which is incredible. We are truly a community where you can have a fabulous dining experience, and we're really becoming known for our dining and our arts and culture, so we really want to capitalize on that.
You want to mention some or all of the restaurants participating, because we have absolutely no problem with you doing that.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
Well, at the 513 range, Burns Irish Pub, Domino's Pizza, Lion's Pride, Little Dog Coffee Shop, Wild Oats and Bakery. At 1013, Burns Irish Pub, Domino's Pizza, Frontier Cafe, Cinema and Gallery right here in Fort Andros. Lion's Pride, Little Dog, and Wild Oats again. At 2013, Domino's Pizza, The Great Impasta, Lion's Pride, the Parkwood Grill, Tao, the Tavern at the Inn at Brunswick Station, and Trattoria Athena. And that the $30.13 range, Domino's Pizza, Frontier Cafe, Cinema and Gallery, and some special promotions are going on at Wilbur's of Maine and Henry and Marty. And one thing I want to point out is that there's no reservations or anything like that required. Just go on in. You will get a passport at each one of the participating restaurants. So when you go in, just get it stamped, and at the end of the week, there'll be drawings from each one of the participating restaurants.
And I don't need a reservation at Domino's Pizza. That is very good to know.
Let me tell you how well you're doing. Now, you probably don't know this, but I'm a foodie and have been for many years, and I actually teach cooking classes. But I neglect myself when I eat. I usually eat out. I eat the wrong kind of foods, the wrong kind of times. So my wife is always saying, well, don't eat out. Cook something at home, and you'll be fine. Last night, she's reviewing your website, and she says, Richard, you should eat more at Wild Oats. She says, look at the great sandwiches, look at the great food. And I've been eating there since I started with Jim, at least once a week. And she's telling me, oh, you got to eat there. No kidding. So you guys do a great job. And the diversity of food that's here in this little Main Street is amazing.
Absolutely.
Just you can not find any more diversity here than if you were in downtown Boston or New York City.
Exactly.
It's just incredible. But this is the nature of this area, and the beauty of it is it's so rich in culture, and that transcends to food as well.
Well, and that's a great segue into our event that's coming up in June, Taste Brunswick. And that is going to be held on June 22nd from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. We're going to have a big beer tent set up from 11 to 4, music, live bands, and just a great opportunity to sample the cuisine that Brunswick offers.
We here at the station have been thinking about that. We have some plans to get involved. I'll be talking to you about that.
About beer, especially beer.
Well, some other things, too. Not to rule that out, though.
Our guest this morning is Deb King. She's the executive director of the Brunswick Downtown Association. They are kicking off their second annual Eat Brunswick Week that's happening today through Sunday. If you want some more information or get involved with the Brunswick Downtown Association, become a member, you can jump on their website at www.brunswickdowntown.org. Deb, thank you so much for coming in. By the way, I'll get the dishes.
Thank you so much.
Radio 9 WCME.